Hey guys, Tyler at North 40 Fly Shop in Coeur d'Alene. Today we're going to do a fly tying segment for you. Today I'm going to show you how to tie a little creation I made. We're going to call it the Coeur d'Alene Articulated Sculpin. Pretty cool little sculpin pattern. It's got a lot of motion to it, and we're going to utilize some smaller shanks today. There's a lot more different variety of jig shanks, so whether it be a 90 degree, 60 degree, they make them in all different lengths now, which is a lot of fun. You can join them together and it sure makes a really cool looking streamer pattern. So the possibilities are really endless now with a lot of the choices in the different kinds of shanks. I just have the fly sitting in here at a different angle so you guys can see kind of how the fly articulates and moves, and we've got a nice little stinger hook back here so we don't get any short strikes. But cool little pattern. I tie this one in black. I like it in olive. This is kind of your brown and yellow variety. So you guys can really kind of experiment with your different colors, but those are kind of the different color variations I like to fish in my area, the Coeur d'Alene River, the St. Joe, the Clark Fork. It's not a great big guy. I find, some of these smaller patterns, I tie this guy with some dumbbell eyes in it. So it's got plenty of weight. Early spring, we fish a ton of sculpin patterns. It's kind of one of my favorite things to do, probably from March through first part of May, and we do a lot of sculpin fishing, a lot of streamer fishing, but it's not a great big fly, doesn't hold a ton of water, it gets down quickly, easier to cast than some of the great big ones. And this guy has a little bit smaller hook on it, which really is pretty hypodermic and is going to get a good hook set on the fish. And I like having it where it's at. It's a little bit further back at the tail end of the fly there, kind of stinger style. So anyways, cool little pattern, and let's show you how to tie it. Alright guys, so we're going to show you how to tie the Coeur d'Alene River Articulated Sculpin. So we're going to start out with a smaller upturned shank here. This is not the jig portion, this is going to be the rear portion of the fly. So go ahead and get the jig affixed into the jaws there, and we'll close up our back portion here and just go ahead and put a good layer of thread down first. So I've already got my hook prepped here, and we're using a 20-pound braid here with a pretty small Gamakatsu octopus hook. So I want to get that guy lashed down here, and I'm just going to put a few loose wraps on there and get this exactly where I want it. I don't want it hanging back too far, otherwise it can wrap forward and get fouled up in your material, so I keep it relatively short right there. Get it in position, and then we're going to bring both tags through the eye here. Get one, get the second one. Cool, and then you can bring those down and under, lash them down. Okay. Need a pretty sharp scissor. This spider line is always really tough to cut. I use a razor blade from time to time, but good sharp pair of scissors. Okay, once you get your hook dressed there, we're gonna add a little dubbing. This is really cool stuff. This is the Sinyo's dub, and there's so many different blends of this. It's really cool. Long, webby dubbing here. A lot of different uses for it. A little bit more. This isn't really a hard fly to tie. There's a handful of parts to it, but not overly difficult. Okay, so once you got your dubbing on there, make sure you guys leave a little bit of a gap towards the eye there for our top portion of marabou. So go ahead and measure that guy. We want it about the length of the back of the hook there. Lash that in. Okay. And then we're going to take our yellow. It's going to go directly underneath. Go ahead and measure, trim, get it set. A couple soft loops to hold it. If you guys are new to tying these articulated type flies, you guys be really careful of that back hook. Some guys even put a little bit of tape or some cork back there on the hook to keep you from bleeding. Okay, so that's it for the rear portion of the fly. We're going to tie this off. Whip finish it. And then we're going to add a little UV black here. Cure that real quick. Okay. And then go ahead and set this guy aside for a minute. We'll set him down on the vise. Now we're going to grab our front portion. And this is the 90-degree jig shank here. Go ahead and lash that down well. Oh, pardon me, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Excuse me. So we're going to take the shank and connect it right now, which is important. So it just comes through, hooks onto the rear shank like so, and then put it in. Again, you guys watch that back hook there. It's known to come out and grab you. It's just doing its job. Okay, now we can lash in our thread. Okay. First thing we're going to do is get our dumbbell eyes put in. So don't get your bobbin all the way forward here. We're going to leave a little bit of a gap there for kind of our dubbed head later. So hold it back just slightly. Figure eight your eyes on there. Okay, come back again towards the rear of the shank, and now we're going to dub. Like so. Doesn't have to be all nice and tidy. Not really going to see a whole lot of that dubbing underneath there, so don't get too caught up in making it perfect looking. Okay, next we're going to do another piece of marabou on the top, just like the last portion. And this time we're going to go a little bit longer. And we will try and match it up with the tail there. Like so. Piece of yellow for the bottom. Okay. Okay, now we're going to get our, I'm going to do a little bit of a flash down each side here. I like this holographic stuff a lot. I use it in a lot of my flies. I shouldn't say it's holographic, but it's crinkle flash. Has a little bit of a texture to it, so it really catches a lot of light. So get a piece on each side there, well, 3 or 4 pieces rather on each side. Give yourself a little bit of a lateral line down each side. That's cool. And now we're going to do our dubbed head here. So what you guys want to do is kind of tidy up a pretty good bunch here for the top. Lash that in like so. And we're going to do another portion underneath. Like so. And then get your thread right behind the eyes there. We're going to add just a little bit of dubbing there, and that's going to help hold that top portion of dubbing back, like so. And then here's the part where you guys should have left your gap, and we're going to add some more there. And then we're about done. Okay, so I secure it there, and then we're going to bring some directly down and under. Watch that hook back there, it'll still get you. And then create a nice head here. Okay. Oop. Tie the fly off. That's all you need. And then a little bit of our UV glue. I'm using black here. You guys can match your thread color on whatever you're doing. Cure it. Okay, and now for the last and final step here, we're going to kind of brush it out a little bit. And I'm kind of, not all of that hair or that dubbing is going to stay put, so I kind of add it back to my rest of my package. But there'll be plenty of dubbing that stays within the fly there to do its job. But get it all combed out. And that's really it, guys. Pretty simple little tie. Doesn't take too long to do. Has a lot of great action in it. As you guys can see, that tail really wiggles. Cool looking fly. And you know, you can always tie these bigger if you want. They absolutely will work. Our cutthroat around here are pretty eager to please, easy to please with a streamer in the springtime. But cool looking fly. When that water catches that fly, it really has a lot of motion to it. So some of the other flies are pretty static and don't move a lot. But anyways, there you have it. There's the Coeur d'Alene River articulated sculpin. Thanks for watching.